Welcome back to the channel, coin collectors, history lovers, and everyday treasure hunters. Today, we're taking a deep dive into a small but legendary piece of American numismatic heritage. The United States Lincoln Wheat Penny 1-cent coin from the year 1956 with the D mint mark. At first glance, it might look like an ordinary Lincoln cent, found in pocket change, tucked into old jars, or resting silently in drawers of forgotten coins. But beneath its simple copper exterior lies a world of fascinating history, unique design characteristics, rarity considerations, and surprising market values that continue to attract collectors from every corner of the hobby. In this episode, we will go deep into the background of this coin, explore its creation and significance, discuss all the unique physical features that make the 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny stand out, analyze why condition and rarity dramatically influence its collector demand, uncover its present-day auction market value, share expert-level tips for collectors, and finally wrap up with a thoughtful conclusion on why this particular wheat penny remains such an appealing treasure in today's numismatic world. So sit back, relax, and let us journey together into the story of the 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny, a humble 1-cent coin with a legacy far bigger than its size. As we begin, let's start with the rich historical and cultural backdrop of this iconic coin. The 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny was minted during a decade when the United States was experiencing economic growth, post-war optimism, and major industry expansions. Dwight D. Eisenhower was serving as president, the American dream was in full swing, families were growing, suburbs were rising, and the automobile industry was booming. The Lincoln cent itself had already been in circulation for nearly half a century, having first been introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the wheat penny quickly became one of the most recognizable and enduring coins in American history. By 1956, the design was already cemented in the hearts of the American public, and the Denver Mint continued producing millions of these copper coins to fuel the nation's growing economy. The 1956 penny came at the tail end of the wheat penny era. Just 3 years later, in 1959, the reverse design would change forever to the Lincoln Memorial, marking the end of the wheat ears that had symbolized agricultural strength and prosperity since 1909. Because of this timing, late 1950s wheat pennies, especially those in high-grade or well-preserved condition, hold special importance. They represent the last chapter of an iconic design before America moved into a new generation of coinage. Every 1956 penny is a piece of this transition period, carrying with it the history of American agriculture, the spirit of Lincoln's leadership, and the craftsmanship of mid-20th century minting methods. Now let's move deeper into the unique features of the 1956 wheat penny. The first and most distinguishing feature you'll notice is, of course, the portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. Brenner's classic design captures Lincoln's profile with remarkable detail: the facial contours, the beard lines, and the strong, steady expression meant to reflect honesty, leadership, and resilience. Above Lincoln's head sits the traditional motto, "In God We Trust," an inscription that has adorned U.S. coinage for generations. To the left, you find the word "Liberty," symbolizing the values upon which the United States was built. On the right side, the date, 1956, is boldly stamped, and just beneath it appears the small but crucial D mint mark, confirming that the coin was minted at the Denver Mint. When we flip the coin over, the reverse displays the iconic wheat ears, one on the left and one on the right, standing tall like symbols of American agriculture and prosperity. Between them, centered in clear and bold lettering, are the words 1 cent, followed by United States of America, reminding us of the coin's value and place in the U.S. monetary system. Above the wheat ears is the Latin phrase E pluribus unum, which translates to out of many one, representing unity among the states. These wheat ears are more than decorative elements. They are a tribute to the nation's agricultural heritage, a recognition that America's strength came from the hardworking farmers who helped build the country. For collectors, the sharpness of these wheat lines, the clarity of Lincoln's portrait, and the legibility of every inscription are essential factors in determining how valuable a 1956 penny might be. Another unique aspect of the 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny is its metal composition. Like most wheat pennies minted after 1944, it is composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This gives the coin its warm, reddish-brown or chocolate-brown tone, and over the years, depending on storage conditions, the coin can develop beautiful natural patina. Collectors value these color variations, especially when the toning is even, smooth, and attractive. A very fine condition 1950-60 penny will typically exhibit clear details in Lincoln's hair and beard, visible wheat stalk lines, and minimal signs of heavy wear. The coin may show a gentle softening of high points, but major features remain well defined. These qualities are what separate very fine condition examples from ordinary circulated pieces. Now let's talk about the rarity and condition that drive collector demand. While the 1950-60 penny is not extremely rare by mintage numbers alone, since the Denver Mint produced well over 1 billion of them, finding one today in very fine condition is much less common than most people think. Billions may have been minted, but only a fraction survived without heavy wear, corrosion, scratches, or damage from decades of circulation. Many were spent, tossed around in pockets, exposed to moisture, or lost altogether. When collectors search for high-quality wheat pennies from the 1950s, they look for coins that have survived the years with minimal wear, strong details, and attractive surfaces. Very fine condition represents a level of preservation that suggests the coin was handled carefully during its lifetime, stored reasonably well, and avoided harsh environmental damage. Collectors also take into account strike quality, luster, and eye appeal. Even for a coin as common as the 1950-60 penny, not all examples were struck equally. Some have stronger strikes with sharper detail, while others were minted with slightly weaker impressions. Over time, the ones with better strikes tend to stand out more and command higher interest from dedicated collectors. Additionally, coins with original mint luster, even faint remnants of it, tend to be more desirable. Condition rarity comes into play when considering the difference between average worn coins and those preserved in very fine or higher condition. While millions survive, only a smaller group maintains the kind of detail and visual quality that collectors want for their albums, displays, or investment portfolios. The current market value of the 1950-60 Lincoln Wheat Penny in today's auction environment. While it is true that common circulated examples may only be worth a small premium over face value, very fine condition examples hold noticeably higher value due to their attractiveness and preservation. In today's coin market, a 1950-60 wheat penny in very fine condition can catch the interest of collectors, especially those looking to complete high-quality wheat penny sets. The value may range depending on exact condition, color, eye appeal, and demand trends. Some very fine examples may sell for a few dollars, while exceptionally sharp coins may bring higher premiums. Additionally, error varieties such as die cracks, repunched mint marks, or off-center strikes can greatly increase the value. For collectors searching in rolls, coin jars, or inherited collections, stumbling upon a very fine 1950-60 penny is a rewarding experience, and the coin can easily be worth significantly more in auction settings than its face value suggests. Beyond monetary value, the 1950-60 Lincoln Wheat Penny holds sentimental and historical worth, making it a staple in countless coin collections. Even modest examples in good condition continue to find buyers, and the demand for well-preserved wheat pennies has remained steady across generations. Collectors often purchase these coins not just for investment, but for the nostalgic charm of holding a piece of mid-century American history. As we move forward, let's discuss tips for collectors who want to find, preserve, or evaluate 1950-60 Lincoln Wheat Pennies. One of the most important tips is to examine the coin carefully under good lighting, focusing on Lincoln's hair, beard, cheek, and jawline, as well as the wheat stalk details. A very fine condition coin will show clear wheat lines, visible separation in Lincoln's hair, and a nicely preserved date and mint mark. Avoid coins with corrosion, pitting, harsh scratches, or cleaning marks, since any of these issues can reduce value substantially. Cleaning a wheat penny is never recommended. It destroys the natural surface and instantly lowers its numismatic value. Another tip is to store your coins properly. Wheat pennies should be kept in protective holders such as flips, coin capsules, or archival quality albums. Copper is sensitive to environmental conditions, so avoid humidity, moisture, and extreme temperature changes. Natural toning is fine, but harmful oxidation can damage the coin over time. If you're building a collection, consider matching the color and grade of your wheat pennies for a visually consistent set. Additionally, it's beneficial to study mint varieties and errors associated with 1950-60 pennies. Learning to spot repunched mint marks, die cracks, and unusual strike errors can dramatically enhance both your enjoyment and the potential value of your collection. Finally, let's bring everything together with a conclusion that celebrates the significance of the 1950-60 Lincoln Wheat Penny. This small copper coin is more than just a relic. It is a testament to a bygone era of American coinage. Its wheat ears symbolize the strength of the American workforce and the agricultural foundations of the nation. The portrait of Abraham Lincoln reflects the values of unity, leadership, and integrity. Though millions were minted, finding a 1950 60 penny in very fine condition is not as common as one might assume, and collectors continue to appreciate its preserved beauty, historical context, and collectible value. Whether found in an inherited collection, discovered during a treasure hunt through coin rolls, or purchased from a dealer or auction, each 1950 60 wheat penny carries with it a piece of American history worth holding on to. In today's coin market, this coin remains a popular and accessible treasure. It represents the last chapter of the wheat penny series before the transition to the Lincoln Memorial design. Its copper composition, classic features, and mid-century charm continue to capture the attention of collectors both new and experienced. For those who appreciate numismatics, the 1950 60 wheat penny serves as a reminder of how even the smallest denomination can hold remarkable cultural, historical, and financial value. Next up, the United States Lincoln Wheat Penny 1 cent dated 1957 with the D mint mark. This particular coin, especially when found in fine condition, carries a surprising level of history, charm, collector demand, and current market value that many people overlook. We will explore every angle of the 1957 D Lincoln Wheat cent, from its origins and place in American history to its unique visual details, rarity factors, and the value it commands in today's numismatic marketplace. We will also talk about how collectors can examine, preserve, and strategically handle this coin to maximize value. Let's step into the story of the 1957 D 1 cent coin and uncover why this humble piece of copper still matters so much today. Imagine holding a small copper coin that traveled through decades of American history, possibly passing through thousands of hands, each with its own story to tell. That is exactly what makes coins like the 1957 D Lincoln Wheat Penny so fascinating. Even though millions were minted, each coin carries a sense of nostalgia and historical richness, and many collectors still chase these coins today. In this video, we are going to explore the 1957 D Lincoln Wheat Penny from every possible angle, building a complete numismatic picture that both beginner collectors and seasoned experts will appreciate. We will talk about how this coin came to life, the landscape of the United States during its production year, what makes this specific penny visually special, how to judge the condition and rarity of a specimen in fine condition, what kind of prices collectors are seeing on today's auction platforms, and how someone who owns this coin can decide whether to hold it, sell it, or upgrade it. Settle in, because we are about to take a deep dive into one of the late-era wheat pennies with some surprisingly valuable qualities in today's collector market. To understand the significance of the 1957 D Lincoln Wheat Penny, we must step back into the mid-20th century. The year 1957 was part of the final chapter of the Wheat Penny series, a coin design that began in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. Created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, the wheat cent featured Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and two stylized wheat stalks on the reverse, symbols of American agriculture, prosperity, and unity during the early 1900s. The wheat penny had already been produced for nearly 5 decades when the 1957 D coin rolled off the presses. America was in the middle of the post-World War II boom. Suburbs expanded across the country, industrial jobs flourished, families grew rapidly in what we now know as the baby boom era, and the United States solidified itself as a global superpower. Amid all this growth, the U.S. Mint was under constant demand to produce billions of coins each year to keep pace with rising economic activity. The Denver Mint, which produced the 1957 D Lincoln Wheat Penny, played a major role in supplying circulating coins for the West and Midwest. Denver had earned a reputation for strong production output, and 1957 was no exception. A very large number of these coins were minted, making the 1957 D one of the more common dates in the Wheat Penny series. But while it may be common as a date, the history surrounding its production makes it uniquely important, because it was one of the last wheat pennies ever minted before the design shifted permanently in 1959 to the Lincoln Memorial reverse. In this sense, the 1957 D coin represents the end of an era, one that stretched from the days before World War I all the way through the post-Korean War years. When collectors hold a 1957 D wheat penny, they hold a piece of the final act of a 50-year historic design that shaped American coinage for generations. While many wheat pennies share similar design elements, the 1957 D coin possesses its own set of unique features that collectors appreciate. On the obverse, the portrait of Abraham Lincoln faces right, engraved with sharp detail when the coin is well preserved. His distinct cheekbone, beard texture, jawline, and the curve of his coat lapel all provide clues that collectors use to evaluate condition. Above Lincoln's head sits the phrase, "In God We Trust," slightly arched across the upper rim. To the left of Lincoln appears the word, "Liberty," and to the right is the date, 1957, followed by the small but significant D mint mark. This mint mark tells us the coin was produced at the Denver Mint, and it also helps collectors differentiate this coin from its Philadelphia and San Francisco counterparts. On the reverse side of the coin, the famous wheat stalks stand tall and symmetrical on both sides of the words 1 cent. Below, the inscription, "United States of America," curves gracefully across the lower portion of the design. Near the top, the phrase, "E pluribus unum," reminds us of America's motto, "Out of many, one." The wheat stalks themselves are what make the wheat penny iconic. The lines, texture, and curvature of these stalks help collectors determine the wear level and grade of the coin. A wheat penny in fine condition retains enough detail to show some texture in the wheat ears, some sharpness in Lincoln's facial features, and readable lettering without flattening or merging. Another unique feature of the 1957 D penny is its metal composition. This coin was struck in a bronze alloy made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, a composition used for most wheat pennies except during the steel penny year of 1943. The high copper content gives the coin its warm reddish-brown tone, though over time these coins develop various patinas depending on storage and circulation conditions. Some 1957 D coins develop a chocolate-brown color, while others retain traces of the original red luster. Mint red coins, especially those preserved almost perfectly, sell for significantly higher amounts in auctions. Although millions of 1957 D wheat pennies were minted, rarity is not determined solely by how many coins were produced. It depends on how many high-quality coins survived. Most wheat pennies circulated heavily, passing through decades of transactions, pockets, and cash registers. This resulted in many coins becoming scratched, worn, corroded, or bent. A 1957 D penny in fine condition is considered moderately collectible because it represents a mid-level grade that still retains clear details, balanced wear, and strong eye appeal. Collectors often evaluate rarity through a combination of survival rates, condition distribution, and market demand. While the 1957 D may not be rare in low grades, truly high-grade examples, particularly those with sharp details, minimal contact marks, and original mint red color, are considerably scarce. Fine condition sits somewhere in the middle, not heavily worn, but not close to mint state. Many collectors who aim to build complete wheat penny sets specifically look for consistent mid-grade coins like fine, very fine, and extremely fine to create visually pleasing sets without the high cost of mint state examples. Another factor affecting rarity is the presence of errors or variations. Even though the 1957 D penny is known mostly for its regular strike versions, small die cracks, misaligned dies, or repunched mint marks occasionally appear on specimens. These varieties can increase the value depending on how dramatic or well documented they are. Finally, condition rarity matters because grading standards are strict. A small nick on Lincoln's cheek or a worn wheat grain can easily drop the grade, significantly reducing the price. For collectors searching for strong eye appeal without spending thousands of dollars, a fine condition coin represents an ideal balance. The monetary value of the 1957 D wheat penny depends heavily on its condition, color designation, strike quality, and whether any errors are present.